guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. I've got a Christmas card here for you today, and it showcases a lot of new stuff from the new August to December mini catalog from Stampin' Up! Now, if you're watching this video before August 4th, you're not going to be able to get the new products, but you can still get the cardstock and things like that to make the card. And if you do that before August 3rd and place at least a $50 order before shipping and tax, you're going to earn a bonus day coupon. You get a $5 coupon for every $50 you place on an order by August 3rd. And then between August 4th and August 31st, you get to redeem those coupons. So you can buy the cardstock and things like that now, come back in August, and you can buy all the new stuff to make this card. Now, if you want to make the card with me, you can still watch the video now. Then you can go ahead and put it in, like it, or put it on the wish list. If you like it, put it on your liked videos list. That way you can find it easily once you get the products in August, and you can come back and make the card with me. Didn't want you to miss out on that great deal. Those coupons are great. Like I said, you've got till August 3rd to earn the coupons. Okay, you ready for me to make this card? I know I am. So if you have any questions while I'm making it, please comment below and I'll answer your questions as soon as I can. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first off, I want to show you the new products I'm using. This is the Christmas Means More stamp set. I love this stamp set. I love the greetings in it. They all come from movies, as you can tell. I believe it's silly, but I believe. Remember that one? Miracle on 34th Street. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. That's the Grinch. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Elf. And the one I'm using today is Every Time a Bell Rings, an Angel Gets His Wings. That's from It's a Wonderful Life, my favorite Christmas movie. So much fun. This is a keeper. I love it. I'm also using a bundle called the Cherish the Season Bundle. Whenever I say bundle, you save 10% when you purchase this as a bundle rather than getting them separately. And I'll be using the stamps on the inside of the card, but I'm going to be using the dies on the outside, and these are the two dies I'm using. I'm going to show you a really neat trick with this. These little leaves and berries actually cut out. It's not embossing. I'm going to show you how to keep those in your die cut so you don't have to piece them back together. Nice, easy way to do that. So it's not like a puzzle piece. Then I'm going to be using the Wonder of the Season I can't talk today. Wonder of the Season Ribbon Combo Pack. There we go. Love this ribbon. I've used this one in a video I did earlier, and if you click above, I'll put a link above for that one when I use this. It's a beautiful evergreen forest 3D embossing folder. You're going to love that too. So if you haven't seen that video, click on that link above, or in the link below in my video description. I'll put it there too. But I love this shaded spruce one, so elegant. But on this one, I'm going to be using this pretty gold cord. I really like that. So that comes together as a combo in the new mini. And that is all the new stuff I'm using. So let's get started on this card. Okay, we need the card base, which is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cherry cobbler. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. Find my bone folder here. There we go. It always falls at the bottom of my supplies. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. Let's grab a piece of Whisper White. This is a 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inch. I know that's a little bit of a different size, but I wanted to have a thin black mat around this. So that's why I made this one a little smaller than I normally do. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the stamp from the Christmas Means More and my shaded spruce ink pad. Stamp that, or ink it up, I mean. And we're going to stamp that here near the bottom right. There we go. Hold it down for a few seconds. Isn't that cool? I love that. But I thought, okay, it needs a little more color than just the green. So the neat thing about our ink pads, they are water-based, so you can use them with our Stampin' Blends. They're alcohol-based. So I don't need this anymore, so we can get that out of the way for right now. I'm going to grab, let's grab the lighter one. I think I'm going to go with a lighter red. This is the Cherry Cobbler light one. And I'm going to color this in real quick so we can have some little red bells. I just thought, okay, it needs a little something, and you don't have to get it perfectly. You can see I'm leaving a little bit of white showing. There we go. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take that dark one, add a little bit right here just to make those a little darker. There we go. That looks pretty good. So that's ready to go. Let's go ahead and grab a piece of the 'Tis the Season Designer Series paper. This is in the mini that's coming up. And a 1 1/8 by 5 1/8 piece of the basic black. I can't remember if I gave you the size. This is 1 inch by 5 1/8. Grab my Stampin' Seal. And I like this green side too, but the cherry cobbler real red side is the one I decided to use. Of course, you can use whichever side you want. And if you are making this, coming back and making this card, you can use whatever design you want from that paper. There's so many to choose from. Let me see if I can get that. A little trouble getting that straight for some reason. There we go. The one nice thing, if I don't get it straight, I can lift it back up again because that seal comes back up again. No problem for 10 minutes and then it's on for good. That's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put that across the left side of my card, of the white piece. Right about here. I'm going to have a little bit of white showing there on the left side. Okay, that looks good. And we can go ahead and, oh, take that back. We want to put that on a piece of basic black. This is the 4 by 5¼ inch piece. I'm going to put, if you're wondering what this is, that's the blends that soak through the paper, and it's supposed to do that. So that's a good thing. We're going to put that here in the center. I just want to have a nice narrow border for my black. There we go. For the white, I mean. Actually, that's not too bad. Looks like I might have cut it a little cockeyed, but that's all right. It's handmade. It's not supposed to be perfect. Okay, now we're going to put that here in the center of the card base, like so. Okay. And let's go ahead and do the inside of the card. That way we'll get all the stamping over with. I'm going to bring my Stampin' Pierce mat back in here. And this is another piece of Whisper White, the same size as the first one. It's 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inch. And I'm going to grab this little bell right here from the Cherish the Season stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it here in the corner with my shaded spruce ink pad. There we go. If you wanted to color that in, you could, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. Then I'm going to grab my cherry cobbler. And I took 2 stamps from the Cherish the Season stamp set, and I just put them on one big block so they can go together. That's why I love having them unmounted, because now I can just stamp this one time. Put it here near the top. Hold it down for a few seconds. There we go. So we've got the inside ready to go. Let's go ahead and put that on the inside of the card. Now we're done with all the stamping. Use my wonderful seal again, like so. And we'll just put that here on the inside. And I made sure there's still plenty of room that if I decide to give this to somebody, I can put our names down here at the bottom. I love having a stamp set that has a greeting for the inside too. Now I don't have to do a bunch of writing when I send these out, because if you're like me, you send out a bunch of Christmas cards. Okay, let's go ahead and put that to the side. Now we're going to do some die cutting. Let me make some room here for my die cutting machine. Get that here on the screen. Very soon I'll have the new one. Can't wait. Customers are going to be able to get it in September, but as a demonstrator, I get to get it on August 4th. I am so excited. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and grab, like I said, these get cut out, but I'm going to show you an easy way to make it so that doesn't happen, because I wanted to keep those in. So we're going to put those on here, kind of angle them a little bit so they'll fit. Oh, and this is a piece of champagne foil, forgot to tell you that, 3 1/2 inches by 2 inches. I'm going to put this through. I'll run it through a couple times. That should do it. Now before, I'm going to turn it over like this so it stays together. Before I take it out, oops, there we go. You can see, okay, the dies look like they're falling out. That's okay. I just wanted to keep all of these intact. So let's see if I can get these taken out. There we go, because it's going to be a little easier. I just want to make sure that those leaves and berries stay in there. So hopefully you can see that. This can come out, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to take some tearing tape and I'm going to hold those in place. So they'll go right here, and these will hold them so they won't come out, because I do not want. Now there are times you might want to have little windows there, and that's fine. You can let those come right out. But this one, I didn't want them to. Now I'm not going to worry about getting the very top, just as long as there's part of it holding it in. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Make sure I've got all those berries covered up. And make sure I've got some tape on at least part of the leaves. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about those falling out. Now this I'll go ahead and pop out because I don't need that anymore. So get the dies out of the way. And now we're going to do a little bit of coloring because I thought, okay, that looks pretty, but there needs to be some color. So I went ahead and did the dark cherry cobbler. And I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper here to make sure I don't get any color on my workspace. I'm just going to put a little bit right here. That's the neat thing about our blends, but being alcohol based, you can easily color on foil and it'll dye it. So I'm getting all of these berries done real quick. And it looks to me like they're going to be plenty dark enough. Sometimes you need to let them dry, and if it's not as dark as you want it, and it only takes a little bit to dry since they're alcohol, they dry very fast, then you can go on and put a second coat on. But you do want to wait and give them a chance to dry just for a few seconds. Now I'm going to use the dark shaded spruce and color these leaves in. And it's okay if you don't get all the way to the edge, because you do want to try to stay on leaves. If you go out of the lines, like I did a little bit on one of the berries, but I don't think anybody's going to notice. Now it seems like with the leaves, I do put a second coat on. Looks to me like that's going to have to happen. So I will hurry up and get these done with one coat. And then I'll grab this one. Normally I speed through this when I color things, but this isn't going to take too long. That we can see how fast it really does dry in real time. So those are done. Now these have had time to dry, so I'm going to put a little second coat in just to make it a little bit darker. And then we'll be ready. And I forgot, I do one more thing. These little guys, I wanted them to be a little green too. So I'm just going to put a little bit of green. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just gives a little more color. So doesn't that just make them pop? I really like that. It could have just stayed silver, but I thought, oh, I just like having a little more color. Okay, and then this one I'll darken up a little bit. And I'm not going to worry about darkening up those little sprigs I just did. I just wanted a faint thing of green. But isn't that cool? I love that. I love having those colors on there. So now we are going to take this gold cord from the Wonder of the Season ribbon combo pack, and we're going to tie some bows on here. So I'm just going to thread it here. And I found it's a little easier not to do that first single knot that you normally do when you tie a bow on these. I'm just going to go ahead and make my loop and tie my bow just like so until it's, and then make sure it's good and tight. That looks pretty good. I like that. Let me grab my scissors, cut that off. We'll do the same thing with this one. Bring it through. Don't do that single knot. Go just start with your loops. Do your loop. Actually, I think I need to make that right side a little bit longer. Let's try that. Okay. I used to measure out my ribbon for bows, but I find it's a little easier just to take it right off the spool. That way you don't end up using up too much of it. And the neat thing with this cord, you can keep playing around with it. I'm kind of holding on to my little knot there and bringing these down. There we go. That looks pretty good. Cut that one off. Now we're going to put these on the card. So bring the card base back in. Now this already has some tape on here, so I think I am going to put a little bit of the seal down here at the bottom. And get a hold of it. There we go. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and get that paper off. It's a little easier to use that to get it started. Oops, if I can get my... There, it's a little easier to do it when you aren't holding it. Okay, well, that one's coming up a little bit, so I'm going to push it down. There, this side's doing better. Okay. Now those are staying intact because I've got that tape on there, so I didn't have to worry about them falling out and having to put them back in again. So I get that bow looking pretty good, and we'll put it right there. Now as you can see, that is totally dry, so it's okay to touch it. That's the wonderful thing about our blends. Okay, let's see if I can get that to come down a little bit more. That's not bad. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this one. So I think I am going to go ahead and take the tape, the backing off, just to make sure that the dimensionals don't come off. Because these were designed to be able to come off adhesive pretty easy. So you do want to go ahead and take those off. Now, if you don't want to bother with dimensionals, you could just pop that on. There's plenty of adhesive there, but I wanted it popped up a little bit. So I'm going to put one right there. And let's just put one right there. That's probably good enough. And get the dimensionals off, the paper backing off of this. And put it here at an angle. And I want to make sure that this is still seen. I love all of that colored part. So kind of angle that the other direction. And you have got your card all done. Isn't that cool? Get that yucky grid paper out of the way so you can see it better. See, that didn't take too long either, but I love that trick of putting the tear and tape behind there. That way all these little pieces won't fall out. It makes it a lot easier. I hope you enjoyed the card. I had so much fun making it. I hope you'll have fun making it too. And if you want to stamp with me again, make sure you subscribe to my channel below. It's in the bottom right corner. You'll see a subscribe button. And when you click on that, a little bell will show up. Make sure you click on that bell and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I do a video. That way we can stamp it together again. And if you want to see more of my creations, because I don't make videos for everything. I have to admit I do a lot of videos on a lot of projects, but I do have some others that I just post on my blog, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram pages. And you can find links to those below in the video description. And if you live in the United States and don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. And if you don't have any of the catalogs, here are the two catalogs that are available right now. Here's the annual catalog and the one that's coming out August 4th. I'd be happy to mail these to you if you live in the U.S. I can only do business with people in the U.S. per Stampin' Up! Rules, but only if you don't have a demonstrator. Just contact me. There's a link below that says contact me. Click on it and let me know that you'd like to have some catalogs mailed to you, and I'll mail them to you right away. And don't forget about my Doily Rewards program. For those of you who've seen my videos, you know about it. And you will earn a $50 shopping spree if you collect 10 doilies. You can find out more about that in my Doily Rewards link. It's hard to say that sometimes. Doily Rewards link below in the video description as well. Well, it's time to go. Please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up and commenting below. I really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Bye.